annual review meeting stuff done. So now we're on to the sort of standard parish council meeting sort of thing. Apologies to members of the public, you've attended the meeting where we have everything to do. It's the biggest meeting of the year, yes. So we're on to the normal items on the agenda. So to receive available reports from the following. So 9.1, district councillors. So first of all, my report as a district councillor as well is myself, Alan and Jessica have been asked for our priorities from the Chief Executive of Wakefield Council in terms of what we want sorting out in terms of Ward 1. So obviously there are other villages that make up Ward 1. But for this parish council, the biggest concerns we have and the things that we really want to push forward, and this is an agreement from all 3 district councillors, is the crossings which have been mentioned this evening. This has been discussed with the Chief Executive. We put that forward, and these are the crossings related to the current zebra crossing, which, as people have commented before, in terms of getting that upgraded, an additional crossing on Wakefield Road, that is also something that we want, and also the casework I've got, and I know that other councillors have been had previous casework of it, as Mr. Darlinson's brought up before in meetings on tonight, to get a traffic island or a crossing on Doncaster Road as well. So that is like the #1 priority that we are pushing forward for Ackworth. Next down on that list is about youth provision in Ackworth, because we do not feel that there's enough for people mentioned about antisocial behaviour in past meetings quite regular, and it's a regular complaint on social media and so on. So we are trying to get some youth provision, because other wards do have this, and we want some funding towards that as well. So they're the 2 major priorities that we have pushed forward, and there are many other projects such as sorting out leases, like for Low Ackworth and the community buildings we have here, but they were the 2 that we deemed most important in terms of would have the greatest impacts on residents here. So yeah, that's my main update on that, as well as dealing with various bits of casework and so on. So I'll move on to 9.2 then. Ackworth Parish Council representatives on outside bodies. Any outside body reports? Andy?
Yeah, not a lot. The Heritage Group had their committee meeting last week. Not a lot to report. Following on from last month, they've not heard anything from Wakefield about the milestone that went missing that they're trying to trace. They've got a really good map put together, what they call an Ackworth colloquial map, which shows all sorts of places in the village and using some old colloquial terminology that they've been referred to. So they're going to get 100 copies of that printed that they're going to sell through various things. So if anybody wants to see some old, what used to be in the village and things, that'd be great. Just a reminder, they've got their History Day here in the parish rooms on the 7th of June. That's Saturday the 7th of June, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And they would really appreciate if maybe the parish council could put out a post on social media for them for that. Would be really good. Otherwise, their next talk's the 22nd of May. If anybody wants to know about the Moortop typhoid outbreak, sounds probably quite interesting, but yeah. So yeah, talk about that.
I'd be a bit neat.
The 22nd. They don't think anybody has died in it, but they're not sure. And yeah, that's about all for that. On Pact, I couldn't attend the Pact, but Sean and Stephen both did, so we're going to
I will just say that it is meant to be representative, but
yeah,
I'll allow you to make...
Rather than pass it on to me, it's probably just easier to get it directed, that's all. Yeah. Apologies, I just couldn't make it in the end.
Are we okay for a review from... Okay. Well, we'll just make the update.
The first item was the off-road bikes, motorbikes, and quads at Upton. which the police are having a special knockdown on at the moment.
Can I just ask that it be relevant to the Ackworth?
That was the meeting.
Sorry.
The next, a complaint from the public, door-to-door sales in salesmen in Orchard Drive, who seem to be a little bit aggressive in their method of selling. That was reported. Very little other apart from the request for a hub in Ackworth, which the council have already agreed to at a meeting. Could this be brought forward to enable them to speak to the public of Ackworth?
Okay, yeah, if that request can be sent through.
Regarding Ackworth, I mentioned to her about the off-road bikes on Dando's way, because I've had problems in this one before. She said she wouldn't look into it. It seems nothing's been done yet. The other one, she said about the building as a police hub. She said this Parish Council never got back to her when I asked her.
Sorry, she
She was
said.
in a building as a police hub so she could spend more time in Ackworth. She said the Parish Council never got back to it. It was brought up in the past. Yeah,
Can I just address that, because I have already spoken to Councillor Richmond and I've already been answered on this one, but for the benefit of the room, there was a schedule of dates and this room was used as a police hub. They chose not to renew it, so I'll go back to Lorraine to make sure that she's not passing this information that we're not supporting.
Because I mentioned the community place got wrapping up. It's not been used.
Both were offered, and they selected this as the hub, and they used the downstairs room and the upstairs room, and it was all scheduled out as dates, and they didn't have any attendees, so they stopped doing them, but it definitely was provided. That's what we spoke about last week.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
I was rather in my brain then, I'm sure we've offered to. So we need to clarify that.
Yeah, we need to clarify.
Okay.
I'll take that, Chair.
Yeah, so that's an action we'll take forward. Okay, I'll move on. Are there any other comments or questions? Thank you for those updates. Susie, yeah?
Sorry, who requested the whole thing, please? Was it
I think it was actually a proposal by...
I think I proposed it after a PAC meeting or discussion with them.
Sorry, Chair.
Yeah.
But it came up again.
It came to full council and we went back.
Yeah.
In the recent meeting.
I just asked her what's happened. Parish Council contact. She said, "We'll hear from Stephen's."
Well, we'll look into that. We've got an action on that, but I'm pretty certain
She
that
said that she's
it
spending more
came to this
time.
council and so.
She said she was spending more time on boats and she could spend more time policing in Ackworth. If that were the case, if they had police over. So,
But if they reject our offers of what we have available,
but we were paying 100,000 for policing. She should be.
I'll go back to the Chair.
yeah.
Cheers.
Item 10 then, to consider for approval of the minutes of the Parish Council meeting held on 14th April 2025. Can we get proposer and seconder for those ones? Sarah proposing, seconder, Lynn seconding. Any comments or questions? No. Votes in favour then please, of accepting those. And we've got a full house, thank you.
I didn't vote.
Oh, sorry. 9. Sorry, jeez. Sorry, I was looking over that. Abstention. There we go. Thank you. Item 11 then, to receive burial rights, and again that's...
It's an easy one, there's none to receive, Chair, but they have to be on the agenda.
Thank you. Item 12, financial matters. 12.1, to receive and consider for approval the accounts including bank statements to the end of April 2025. And we've got that information in our packs as normal. Any questions or comments?
There was none sent through, Chair, before the Friday deadline.
So there's none sent through. Susie, yes please.
Just asking, is it a journal entry where the preceptor's gone in and then it's come back down to the deposit account?
Yeah, it's an administration done with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a correction.
Propose these accepted.
So John proposing seconder then, please. Sarah seconding. Votes in favour of accepting the accounts. I've got 9, 10. All in favour. Thank you. 12.2 to receive and consider for approval payments to be made and petty cash account for the 12th of May 2025. I'll give everyone a few minutes to just run through. Just trying to observe how far down it goes. Okay, are there any questions or comments on the
Just, I can't remember. Did we pay a deposit to Fresh Air Fitness for the outdoor gym equipment? It says final settlement invoice. I'm just trying to. I can't remember if we'd already paid something for that.
The payments were broken up. But I don't know whether it was specifically deposited.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, that's fine.
I can go away.
That wasn't the total amount, basically, is all I was checking.
Yeah, there was definitely more than one
Yeah,
payment.
yeah, okay. No, that's fine. And then just the Metamedia RFO services looks higher than usual.
Is that higher than the new contract that's just been agreed?
I don't know.
It's possibly the new contract that's
Oh,
just
it might
been
be.
agreed.
Yeah. Could. It's just higher than we've seen before, isn't it?
I would imagine it.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking for clarity. Is it higher than the new contract that's been agreed? But
Yeah. I don't remember what we agreed, so.
Okay. Can we get a proposer and seconder then for the petty cash? Nathan proposing, seconder then please. Sean seconding. Any votes in favour of accepting the petty cash? Full house. Thank you. 12.3. To note the incorrect receipt of civil money and return to Wakefield Metropolitan District Council as the address is no longer in Ackworth since the 2023 boundary change.
can I ask a very quick comment?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Of course.
I did have a late inquiry today which was seen, and it was a council just asking for confirmation on the location. So the location was Meadowview, and it's the Ridge Lane end which has fallen into East Hardwick. The amount was highlighted on your bank statement, but I appreciate you might not have seen that. You just said at the bottom, see agenda item 12.3. So on the second page, you can see £2,011.62 that hit our account, and then when we queried it, it wasn't for us, so that will be sent back. So that agenda item just takes care of that from a financial viewpoint as to why it's hit the bank and why it will be returned back to Wakefield Council.
Oh, so it just came in and has gone straight back out?
It came in, we queried it, we're waiting for an invoice to pay it back.
Right, that's fine.
You say what you said first one?
Meadowview, Rig Lane, East Hartwick End.
Okay, and it's just to note that 12.4 then is to review and approve the organisation list for free of charge annual hire of parish council facilities. And again, this is in the packs that we've got, and there's essentially a list of organisations that essentially we don't charge any rent for. So, for instance, the library, which use this community centre for their meetings and so on. West Yorkshire Police, although they don't take us up on it.
That was for the club, that was for exact reasons.
So they wouldn't have been charged, but the Low Ackworth Community Association, because their community building's not in use, so we're sort of like facilitating them. The Ackworth Drop-In Club, which is an ongoing community group. The Carers Wakefield group, the Heritage Group, Ackworth Heritage Group, district councillors in relation to Ackworth business. I don't believe there has been any recently in terms of that sort of thing. I know I tend to go to people's houses when I've been asked, so that I've used of the community centre as such. Pramfest annual event as well. So that's currently the list. So we can, and it's to review and approve. Stephen, just to come
Just
in.
to remind you that I'm on the Heritage Committee, but you're not filling that sort of stuff.
Yes.
So you've got to be obviously.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's no problem. Are we happy? We'll have that as a dispensation, just.
Okay.
But is council happy for them to continue to like vote and so on? Yeah, I don't think there's any conflicts there personally. So, Susie, yeah.
It's just tongue in cheek, but in view of the amount we do pay the police from the village, perhaps we should change it.
It's not a bad shout. When they take us up on our suppose offers.
Yes.
We could definitely bring that into review at least. So, are we? I'll move from the chair then. I propose that we accept the current groups having free use of the community building at the moment, because I think it benefits the community as a wider whole. Can I get a second before that? And Nathan secondly. Votes in favour then, please. Thank you, full house. Item 13, to receive a copy of the Parish Council's financial and audit responsibilities. So we're just receiving this report. Again, it was in the packs that we've all received. Are there any questions or comments on that? Not it's all the butcher. Okay, so we're receiving that. Item 14, to discuss council event volunteer commitment and decide a course of action.
Yes, Chair. Our project manager asked me to bring this up to full council to propose that moving forward, that when events are coming up, it's actually an agenda item and that commitment is made during a meeting. What she's finding at the moment, and I understand completely, people are stretched, is that we're not finding out people's commitment until close to the event, and at that point we're struggling to make sure that we can manage the event safely for the members of the public that are in attendance, and it's causing quite a challenge from a resource planning point of view from the office. Often we're having to redirect hours to make sure that we allow for the right cover. The beacon lighting is an example of that. We have 2 members of staff on standby, but fortunately councillors could volunteer closer to the time and numbers were increased. So it's more to ask council whether it would be appropriate that moving forward, as we come up to the events where we do need councillor commitment to run the events, that we could have it as agenda items and we could pledge commitment through an agenda item.
Yeah, are we happy for it to be an agenda item? Could I ask that the upcoming events maybe was listed? I'm sure that would be. So it's not just in general, so like gala.
Yes, Chair.
Yeah.
So we'll bring them up
Yeah.
to the next meeting if that's approved.
Yeah, do we approve of that? Lynn?
I'm just going to ask if we're going to do that and put on each one the amount of commitment. Because otherwise you can find yourself in volunteering for Saturday and discover it's a 4-day thing. Whereas you might only go 2 sessions, so I think it has to be specific what the commitment is.
Sure. Yeah. Sarah, yeah.
And I think also, Neil, I think it would be a good idea if we could, because I know that Emma sent round a tick sheet, didn't she, a while back. It would be a good idea if we could have some regular reminder of what we've committed ourselves to, so that if one of us has committed ourselves to something, we find we can't come, then we let Emma know in good time rather than just, kind of forgetting about it or whatever. So if we can have a reminder, but also an expectation that if councillors have said yes, I'll go, and you can't go, that we let Emma know in good time, let the office staff know in good time.
Could that be part of the roundup that we do on the Friday?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that'd be good.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
yeah,
and a briefing document per event for commitment.
yeah.
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 That was, yeah.
Do you want any of these proposed just for procedure?
I think because it's an action, decide a course of action, yes please, Chair.
Okay, so I'll propose from the chair then that we, as part of the Friday roundup, we have the upcoming events, of which we'll give an action of what councillors are volunteering for. And then once councillors have volunteered, it'll, like, on the roundup, it'll, like, list you as, like, Ackworth Gala, these councillors have all committed, and so forth. And it'll give a description as to what each event is. So, for instance, the Santa Day is a 4-day event, so people are sort of like up to date as to what they volunteer for.